Inside every cell of your body right now, there's a hidden process that could add years to your life. It's called autophagy, and when scientists finally understood how it worked, they gave it a Nobel Prize. The crazy part? Most people will never activate it, not because they can't, but because they simply don't know when it starts. You've probably heard about fasting and how it transforms your health, but here's what nobody tells you. The magic doesn't happen the moment you stop eating. Your body has a very specific timeline, a biological countdown that determines exactly when your cells flip the switch from consuming to cleaning. Miss that window, and you're just hungry. Hit it right, and you trigger one of the most powerful anti-aging mechanisms science has ever discovered. The word autophagy literally means self-eating. Sounds disturbing, doesn't it? But this isn't your body destroying itself. It's something far more intelligent. Your cells break down damaged parts, recycle the pieces, and rebuild themselves stronger than before. So when does this actually begin? After 8 hours? 12 hours? 24? The answer surprised even the researchers who study it. And by the end of this video, you'll know the exact moment your body starts this cellular cleanup, and more importantly, how to use that knowledge to live healthier and longer. Before we reveal the timeline, you need to understand what autophagy actually does. Because once you see what happens inside your cells during this process, you'll never think about food the same way again. Every second you're alive, your cells produce waste. Damaged proteins pile up. Mitochondria, those tiny power plants that give you energy, start to malfunction. Toxic molecules accumulate. It's like living in a house where trash slowly builds up in every room. Your body has a cleanup system for this, and it's been inside you since birth. But here's the problem. That system only activates under specific conditions. When you eat constantly, breakfast, snacks, lunch, more snacks, dinner, dessert, your cells stay in building mode. They're too busy processing nutrients to stop and clean up the mess. Autophagy is what happens when your cells finally get a break. Special structures called autophagosomes form inside each cell. Think of them as microscopic garbage trucks. They identify damaged proteins, worn-out mitochondria, and cellular debris. Then they wrap around these broken parts, seal them up, and transport them to recycling centers called lysosomes. Inside the lysosomes, powerful enzymes break everything down into basic components. Amino acids, fatty acids, simple sugars. Nothing gets wasted. Your body takes what was damaged and dangerous, dismantles it completely, and rebuilds it into something new and functional. It's molecular recycling at its absolute finest. Now here's what makes this so powerful. When autophagy works correctly, it doesn't just remove trash, it specifically targets the most damaged, most dangerous parts of your cells first. The proteins that could cause Alzheimer's, the mitochondria creating harmful free radicals, the cellular debris triggering inflammation and aging. Scientists now believe that when autophagy fails, diseases begin. Cancer, neurodegeneration, heart disease, accelerated aging, all linked to cells that can't clean themselves properly anymore. So activating autophagy isn't just about feeling better. It's about preventing the cellular damage that leads to diseases most people fear as they age. And the key to activating it? Time. Specifically, time without food. But here's where timing becomes everything. The discovery of autophagy didn't happen overnight. For decades, scientists knew cells had some kind of waste management system, but they didn't understand the details. Then in the 1990s, a Japanese researcher named Yoshinori Ohsumi started experimenting with yeast cells, and everything changed. Ohsumi did something simple but brilliant. He starved yeast cells of nutrients and watched what happened under a microscope. What he saw was extraordinary. The cells didn't just sit there dying. They started consuming their own internal structures, but in a controlled, purposeful way. These tiny organisms were performing surgery on themselves, breaking down damaged parts, recycling the materials, using them to survive. Ohsumi spent years mapping out exactly how this worked, identifying the genes and proteins involved in every step of the process. His work was so groundbreaking that in 2016 he won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. But the real shock came when other scientists realized something incredible. Humans have the exact same autophagy system, the same genes, the same proteins, the same cellular machinery. This process has been inside you your entire life, passed down through millions of years of evolution. Your ancestors survived famines because their cells could eat themselves strategically, breaking down what wasn't needed to preserve what was essential. That same survival mechanism still works today. The problem? Modern life almost never activates it. We eat so constantly that our cells never get the signal to start cleaning. They're stuck in growth mode, building and storing, never repairing and recycling. And that's where the timeline becomes critical. So here's the direct answer you came for. Autophagy begins activating between 12 and 16 hours of fasting for most people, but it doesn't reach full power until 24 to 36 hours. That's when real cellular repair happens. Now, let me explain what's actually happening inside your body during this window, because understanding the process changes everything. The moment you stop eating, your body doesn't immediately think, "Time for autophagy." There's a very specific sequence of metabolic events that has to happen first. In the first 4 to 6 hours after your last meal, nothing unusual happens. Your body still runs on glucose from that meal. Insulin levels are elevated, signaling your cells to grow and store energy. Your liver has plenty of glycogen, that backup battery of stored sugar. Everything is normal. Around hour 6 to 8, things start shifting. Blood sugar stabilizes, insulin begins dropping. Your liver starts releasing glycogen to maintain energy levels. You might feel completely fine, maybe even energized. Your body hasn't detected any emergency yet. But by hour 8 to 10, the first signals appear. Glycogen stores are getting lower, insulin has dropped significantly, and inside your cells, molecular sensors start to notice. These sensors, proteins called AMPK and mTOR, act like energy detectors, constantly monitoring whether nutrients are abundant or scarce. When AMPK senses low energy, it activates. When mTOR, which normally promotes cell growth, senses low nutrients, it deactivates. This combination is critical. AMPK on, mTOR off. That's the biochemical signal telling your cells it's time to shift from growth mode to maintenance mode. At this point, around 10 to 12 hours, autophagy begins to whisper. It's not fully active yet, but the machinery is warming up. A few autophagosomes start forming. Some damaged proteins get tagged for removal. Your cells are testing the waters, preparing for what comes next. Most people never push past this point. They eat breakfast 8 or 10 hours after dinner, shutting down autophagy before it really begins. They never discover what happens when the body goes deeper into this state, but those who continue fasting experience something remarkable. By hour 12 to 16, autophagy truly wakes up. Your liver's glycogen is depleted, your body shifts fully to burning fat for energy, and your liver starts producing ketones, those powerful molecules that can fuel your brain when glucose runs low. This metabolic shift is the trigger. With insulin low, ketones rising, and energy coming from fat instead of sugar, your cells receive a clear message. Stop building. Start cleaning. Autophagosomes form more aggressively now. Damaged proteins get broken down faster. Old mitochondria are identified and marked for recycling. At 16 hours, many people practicing intermittent fasting stop and eat. And that's not a bad strategy. At this point, you've activated meaningful autophagy. Your cells have had time to perform basic cleanup. Inflammation markers start dropping, cellular repair begins happening throughout your body. But if you push to 18 or 20 hours, the intensity increases. More autophagosomes, more recycling, more cellular renewal. The cleanup that started as maintenance becomes renovation. Your cells aren't just removing trash anymore, they're actively upgrading their internal machinery. Some people report feeling sharper at this stage, more mentally clear. That's not imagination. Ketones provide steadier energy to your brain than glucose does, and autophagy in your neurons starts clearing out the protein clumps that contribute to cognitive decline. Your brain is literally cleaning itself while you fast. Wait until you hear what happens at 24 hours. 1 full day without food. For most people, this sounds extreme, but biologically speaking, this is where autophagy becomes a powerhouse. By now, your body is fully committed to fat metabolism, ketone production is strong, and your cells have had enough time to complete deep, thorough cleaning cycles. At 24 hours, autophagy isn't just removing damaged proteins anymore, it's tackling entire structures. Mitochondria that have been producing energy inefficiently, generating harmful free radicals along the way, finally get dismantled and recycled. This process, called mitophagy, is crucial for longevity. Think about it this way. Your mitochondria are like tiny engines inside every cell. Over time, these engines wear out. They start misfiring, producing less energy and more toxic waste. In a normal, constantly fed state, these broken engines just keep running, slowly poisoning your cells. But during autophagy, your cells can finally shut down the worst engines, break them apart, and either rebuild them or create space for new ones. It's like replacing a failing car engine instead of just adding more oil and hoping it works. Your immune system experiences massive changes at 24 hours too. Studies show that fasting for a full day can trigger the breakdown of old, ineffective immune cells. Then, when you eat again, your body produces fresh replacements. It's like updating your immune system's software, removing the buggy code and installing a clean version. The brain benefits are equally impressive. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, increases significantly during extended fasting. This protein is like fertilizer for neurons, helping them grow, form new connections, and resist damage. Higher BDNF levels are linked to better memory, faster learning, and protection against neurodegenerative diseases. Some researchers believe this is why fasting has been associated with reduced Alzheimer's risk. When neurons regularly activate autophagy, they clear out beta-amyloid plaques and tau tangles, the toxic proteins that characterize Alzheimer's. Prevention happens at the cellular level, silently protecting your brain decades before symptoms would appear, but 24 hours isn't the maximum. If you continue to 36 hours, autophagy keeps intensifying. Before we go deeper, I want to know your take. If your body starts deep cellular repair after 24 hours, would you consider doing a one-day fast just to trigger this process? Comment 24 hours to reset if you try it, or not for me if that sounds too extreme. By 36 hours, something extraordinary happens. Growth hormone levels spike dramatically, sometimes increasing 5 times higher than normal. This hormone doesn't just build muscle, it protects existing tissue while encouraging fat breakdown. Your body becomes remarkably efficient at preserving what matters: muscle, organs, bone, while aggressively targeting fat reserves. At this stage, autophagy reaches structures it couldn't access earlier. Protein aggregates that have been accumulating for years finally get dismantled. Cellular waste that's been hiding in hard-to-reach places gets cleared out. Your cells are performing deep surgery on themselves, cutting away everything unnecessary to leave only what's functional and strong. The mental effects can be striking here. Many people describe an almost euphoric clarity, a calm focus that feels different from normal consciousness. This isn't just psychological. Your brain is running on a completely different fuel system now, one that produces less oxidative stress and more stable energy. Evolutionarily, this makes perfect sense. When food was scarce, your ancestors needed sharp minds to hunt and gather effectively. A foggy, confused brain couldn't find food, so evolution designed fasting to enhance mental performance, not diminish it. That same ancient mechanism still works in your modern brain. Now here's the critical point. Beyond 36 hours, the benefits start to plateau for most people, and the risks begin increasing. This is where autophagy crosses into potentially dangerous territory. There's a line between autophagy and starvation, and understanding that line is crucial. On the surface, they look similar, both involve not eating. But biologically, they're completely different processes. Autophagy is controlled renewal. Your body carefully selects what to break down: damaged proteins, worn-out organelles, unnecessary cellular debris. It recycles these components intelligently, turning waste into useful building blocks. Muscle tissue stays protected. Essential functions continue smoothly. Your body is optimizing, not destroying. Starvation happens when fasting goes too long. The body exhausts its fat reserves. It starts breaking down healthy tissue, including muscle, just to keep vital organs running. Hormone levels crash. The immune system weakens. Mental function deteriorates. What was once a tool for health becomes a threat to survival. For most healthy people, the safe and effective window for autophagy is between 16 and 36 hours. This gives your cells enough time to complete meaningful cleanup without pushing your body into crisis mode. Beyond 72 hours, you're entering territory where medical supervision becomes necessary. The key is understanding that more fasting doesn't equal more benefits. Autophagy has a sweet spot, long enough to trigger deep cellular repair, but short enough that your body still has plenty of resources to work with. It's about strategic stress, not extreme deprivation. So here's the practical takeaway. You don't need to fast for days to get autophagy's benefits. Regular shorter fasts can be just as effective over time. Many people find success with time-restricted eating, compressing all meals into an 8-hour window each day. That means fasting for 16 hours daily, long enough to activate autophagy consistently without the challenge of skipping multiple meals. Your cells get regular cleanup sessions, and you still enjoy satisfying meals. Others prefer the 5-2 approach, eating normally 5 days a week and doing 24-hour fasts twice weekly. This provides deeper autophagy sessions while fitting easily into most lifestyles. You might fast from dinner one day to dinner the next, giving your body a full day of cellular repair. There's also the occasional 36-hour fast, done monthly or quarterly, for more intensive cellular renewal. Think of it like deep cleaning your house. Daily tidying keeps things manageable, but occasionally you need to move furniture and clean the places you normally can't reach. But fasting isn't the only autophagy trigger. Exercise activates similar pathways. When you do high-intensity workouts, you temporarily deplete glycogen and create cellular stress that triggers cleanup mechanisms. Your cells respond to that stress by removing damaged components and strengthening what remains. Certain compounds support autophagy too. Coffee, especially during a fast, contains molecules that activate AMPK, the same energy sensor that kicks off cellular cleanup. Green tea works similarly. Even compounds in foods like turmeric, berries, and dark chocolate have been shown to support autophagic processes. Sleep might be the most underrated autophagy trigger. During deep sleep, especially in your brain, autophagy activates to clear out metabolic waste that builds up while you're awake. This is why poor sleep is linked to neurodegeneration. Your brain needs those nightly cleanup sessions to maintain long-term health. So the complete autophagy picture isn't just about fasting, it's about creating a lifestyle that gives your cells regular opportunities for repair. Fasting is the most direct trigger, but it works best combined with exercise, quality sleep, and strategic food choices. Now let's break down the complete timeline, because understanding the progression helps you maximize the benefits. Hours 0 to 8. Your body runs on recent food. Insulin is elevated, cells are in growth mode, autophagy is minimal, just basic background maintenance that happens even when you're well fed. Hours 8 to 12. Glycogen starts depleting, insulin drops, AMPK begins activating, autophagy starts to whisper, preparing for the transition ahead. Hours 12 to 16. Glycogen is mostly gone, fat becomes the primary fuel, ketones begin appearing. Autophagy wakes up, with autophagosomes forming more frequently. This is where most intermittent fasters land, and it's enough to trigger meaningful cellular cleanup. Hours 16 to 24. Autophagy intensifies. Damaged proteins break down faster. Mitochondria get recycled, inflammation markers drop. The brain starts running efficiently on ketones. This extended period allows for deeper cellular repair. Hours 24 to 36. Peak autophagy. Growth hormone spikes. Immune cells regenerate. The deepest cellular structures undergo renovation. Your body is now performing major maintenance, not just routine upkeep. Beyond 36 hours. Autophagy continues but benefits plateau. Risks increase. This territory requires careful consideration and often medical guidance. The timeline is clear. Autophagy begins around 12 hours, becomes meaningful at 16, reaches high efficiency at 24, and peaks around 36. After that, you're pushing into territory where more doesn't necessarily mean better. If you're new to fasting, start with 12 to 14 hours and work your way up. Let your body adapt gradually. The goal isn't to suffer through hunger, it's to train your metabolism to efficiently switch between fed and fasted states. Stay hydrated during fasts. Water, black coffee, and plain tea don't break a fast and can actually support the process. Electrolytes become important during longer fasts, especially sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Listen to your body. If you feel dizzy, extremely fatigued, or unwell, break the fast. Autophagy is powerful, but it's not worth risking your immediate health. The benefits come from consistent practice over time, not from pushing through warning signals. And remember, autophagy is just one piece of the health puzzle. It works best combined with nutrient-dense foods during your eating windows, regular movement, quality sleep, and stress management. Fasting triggers cellular cleanup, but what you do the rest of the time matters just as much. The science of autophagy reveals something profound about human biology. For millions of years, we evolved in environments where food wasn't constantly available. Our bodies developed this incredible repair system to take advantage of those lean times, using scarcity as an opportunity for renewal instead of just barely surviving until the next meal. Modern life has disrupted that rhythm entirely. We eat from the moment we wake until the moment we sleep, keeping our cells in perpetual growth mode, never giving them space to clean up the damage that accumulates from simply being alive. And the consequences show up as diseases of aging, metabolic dysfunction, neurodegeneration, cancer. By choosing to fast strategically, you're not depriving yourself of anything essential. You're reconnecting with an ancient biological wisdom. You're giving your cells permission to do what they've always been designed to do: repair, renew, optimize themselves from the inside out. The next time you feel hunger during a fast, remember what's really happening. Those sensations aren't weakness or failure. They're signals that your body is switching gears, moving from consumption to creation, from building to repairing. Every hour you push past that initial discomfort, millions of cells throughout your body are working to make you healthier, stronger, more resilient. If you're fascinated by how fasting reshapes your body, you need to watch this next. What happens to your immune system during fasting? Science explained. It perfectly complements what you've learned here, showing how immune cells literally rebuild themselves while you fast. Trust me, it's one of the most underrated stories about fasting. After decades of research, most scientists agree on this. The sweet spot for meaningful autophagy lies between 16 and 36 hours of fasting. It's the window where your body transitions from fuel burning to deep repair, long enough to activate the cleanup, but short enough to avoid harm. Short daily fasts, like 16-8, keep your cells regularly tuned. Occasional 24-hour fasts enhance resilience. And for those medically fit and experienced, a 36-hour fast can deliver a full autophagic reboot. Beyond that, supervision and expertise become essential. The magic of this process isn't just in biology, it's in consistency. Autophagy isn't a one-time event, It's a rhythm. The more your body learns this rhythm, the more efficient it becomes at protecting and renewing itself. So next time you think about skipping a meal, remember this: you're not depriving your body, you're giving it a chance to heal itself from the inside out. If this video helped you understand how fasting activates your body's hidden repair system, hit the like button, subscribe for more deep dive science explained, and share this video with someone curious about fasting and longevity. You might just inspire them to start their own health experiment.